So welcome back. Following on from the last upload where I said we'll look at more about the message that we receive from Spirit for someone in a reading, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away.
So what do we do when we get to that part of the reading? If you've got your mind out of the way enough and you can you've got the communication sorted, we need to now tie it up and sort of finish it off. And there's a varied opinion on what the message should consist of. You know, lots of us have been there when it's they love you a lot and, you know, chin up, life's a little bit hard, here's a pretty flower, off you go. But if you're of my way of thinking, I think the spirit world are much more intelligent than just passing off in love, and would maybe offer a different perspective, or maybe not a telling off, but maybe more of a direct approach into what it is that we need to try and implement to the betterment of the lives that we are currently having. And that's certainly my approach when it comes to the message part, whether it be publicly or privately in a one-to-one.
A classic cliche, we're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow, we can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me, be free with me.
So we have to bear in mind what kind of recipient we're working with also. You know, some recipients want it to be blunt. They'll say, Charlie, tell me exactly how it is. And then you've got other people, you just know they're not, they don't want it dialed in and they don't want it accurate. Some people just want to hear that there's someone around and that they love us dearly and they are supporting us in every decision that we are making. It's, you know, that's par for the course for the community that we're in. So I'm going to try and break it down into the sections, because the video could go on for hours on this one subject. Like most of the subjects I try to cover, they need more than one video, but as a basis for touching on it, I'm going to try and break it down in bite-sized pieces for you.
Be free, be free, be free with me.
So one area we definitely have to cover is ethics. That's going to have to go into another video, or this one will be massive. But to very quickly touch upon it, the spirit world are not there to make decisions for us. So in a very long story short version, they will not tell you to buy the house. They will not tell you to leave a partner or break a family, so on and so forth. The spirit world are not there for those decisions. So that 100% is not coming from the spirit world when in the form of a message. Many of you may have received something as direct and as blunt as this, but I can assure you that is not the spirit world that are orchestrating that. That is the mind of the so-called medium, when in actual fact they're working through their perception, their interpretation through the psychic mechanic. Also, there is an argument to be said that, you know, someone going to a demonstration or a reading for the first time, I think dialing in a little bit too harshly or directly can actually have an adverse effect and scare people away completely. So I think when called upon, maybe the love and light approach, as I refer it to, is maybe a little bit more suited for someone that's there for the first time, someone that's never encountered a communication. And so I see why some people would opt to do it this way. The problem we have nowadays is most messages come from that place of love and light. dialing it all down and giving the perfect scenario for the skeptic to attack any form of mediumship. So where suited, whether it be in a one-to-one or it be on a public demonstration, sometimes if you are new to it and you know actually all you want to hear is your communication, you know, your loved one, your friend, your whoever that has gone to the spirit world is actually there. Sometimes, hi, I am around and I do love you tremendously, is actually all that is required. The thing that has devalued that is that most messages are coming from that place, if any message at all nowadays. I think a lot of mistakes that are made within mediumship when it is coming from the spirit world, a lot of mediums will say the message how they would want to hear it, how they want to receive it. And this isn't suited for everyone. You're unique as an individual, whether that be as a medium or an everyday civilian. Everything is very, very different, and so there is no occasion when you should do it your way because you feel that's the best approach. It should all come from the sensitivity, that of the spirit world, no matter what the situation. So let's take a look at a very typical situation, one where you are asking a medium for a reading and advice. Maybe you're at a public demonstration where you are the client of said communicator, and it gets to the message part. You know, the evidence has been covered if you're fortunate enough. The evidence has been covered and you're left with no doubt, you know, your loved one is definitely present there with the medium as they are expressing their story. And it just so happens that this time in your life you are having a very bad relationship. You know, things are going very, very wrong for you in your relationship. The spirit world won't come in and go, right, what you got to do is you got to bin them off. You got to get rid of them, pack your stuff and leave, get out while you can. From the experience that I've had with the spirit world and this kind of communication, and I know the relationship is the issue, I know that the spirit world in their message would be talking about a time when they were more independent, you know, how fun it was, how free it was, how their life was, their mindset, their emotional set, at a time when they were single, without actually expressing that they were single. It would be about all the things they were doing and the experiences that they had had in that period of their life, take them back to a good place in their life. And then maybe the client in this scenario would then decide for their own benefit, that for their own mental health and their emotional state and their physical well-being, that they are better off in the single. Then they will make that decision themselves, not off the back of something I have said, like go, bin them off, start a new life, you know, move country or whatever. It will be a reflective period in their life that the spirit world would discuss, they will talk about, and through this discussion they can come about making their own decision in the right way without it being led on by saying the medium said, the spirit world said. It's a decision that they come to themselves, and this is a very typical one. I get a lot of young ladies that want to, let me just adjust the light now. I get a lot of young ladies that want advice on their relationship. What should they do now? Where should they go? So on and so forth. When it's not the spirit world's job to do that. They're a guiding influence. Maybe look at this, maybe try that. And too many people are falling dependent on a psychic stroke medium. Another typical one may be stress, maybe worry. And this is usually about money, I suppose, isn't it? Where we live, or money. This is a huge, you know, subject when it comes to this thing. This is why we go to see a psychic for a psychic reading, try and get some guidance in some way. Or if you're having a mediumistic reading, again, the spirit world will discuss that in a different kind of way. They're not going to give you a resolution to a money problem in this example. Again, they will talk about a time in the recipient's life, you know, when maybe they didn't have money and how everything worked out okay, you know, how they are now here in a stronger position. They won't make reference to the actual subject that we're talking about in the here and now, but they will reflect it on when they believed they were in trouble or they had a worry, and now they know a little bit different, you know. Now they can see with a couple of years under their belt that they're actually all right, and the purpose of that conversation or that message would be to stop worrying, you always make it through. Stop worrying, it's not, you know, it's not doing you any favours. I think it's also fair to say we've all received a message we don't understand. It couldn't be further from the truth, you know, and it's our responsibility as clients to say that, you know. Too many of us just sort of accept it and sort of go, okay then, and then we leave, you know, and a little bit disgruntled and unhappy. Equally, I think the mediums that kind of cop out and give guides as the message, you know, you should know better. And do you know what? I'm going to link a video in this corner on why guides should never be a message. So after the video, click this link up here for more information on that. So a lot of you that are developing will be like, but how do we do that? How are we going to start to move our messages that way, Charlie? And there's a few different ways that we can access our mind or allow the spirit world to influence our mind in a way. And I'll give you a couple of easy techniques for you to start with, and the more and more you do it, the more and more comfortable you'll become with it. And that way you will realise it's the only way that we need to be giving messages from a communicator. So the easiest way to prompt this at the end of your communication is actually a very simple process. The term or the intention that I give is, and I will say this out loud, is the spirit world want to move to the message and they want me to make you aware of, or the spirit world want me to tell you, and it's like ... And then in that process I am given, or I download, or you know, the information or the idea sparks in my mind what I need to be talking about. That's the easiest way to do that. What we have to do is give a complete freedom of mind. You know, maybe I'm influenced by a colour or an experience that I've had in my own life, or a sensation or a word. And then as I start to express this, as you do with your evidence, you start expressing it and then more information comes in. The message works in exactly the same way. This way you'll dial it in much quicker, much easier, and give it plenty of substance. You know, if you work for your message the same way that you work for the communication, you're trying to give a good, factual, evidential sit-in. If you are with the same mechanic in your mind looking for a factual and evidential kind of message, then it will lead it down the right pathway. What I always try and do is lead it down like a place that other people can take something from the message. Maybe if I'm in a public platform where it's a demonstration, can't dial it right in because it may be too personal, but I'll get as close as I can to it. And that of a one-to-one, I will make it very, very clear and precise what it is that I'm offering from the spirit world. At the end of all my messages, like I do my communication, you understand this message, you understand what the spirit world is talking about or what your loved ones are talking about, to which they should be replying yes. If it's a no, I will go back and I will try and clear it up again. So I think we need more videos. This was just touching upon how to access a better message. Messages, certainly in my locality, are disappearing fast, and the ones that are here are here's a pretty flower, life's a bit hard, the spirit world is supporting you, chin up, move yourself on, or none at all. So we need to be looking at the way we need to be looking at the message the way that you're looking at evidential mediumship. You want facts, you want figures, you want evidence, you want character, you want essence. The message should incorporate all of that as well. So I think that's enough for today. We'll do a part 2, part 3 maybe, on message and the mechanic and how we can access it. But in the meantime, don't forget to like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you aren't already, hit the notification bell for any upcoming uploads, and I will see you all in the next video.